it's the next level.
Hmm? Ah!
I found them. After I left, I hiked north, back to where we were. Hiked to the beach, followed the shoreline. A day later, I saw one.
What did he look like?
It was dirty. Worn clothing, no shoes, simple. Just like the rest of them.
Like the rest of them.
Yeah. His people. The others. I followed him back to his camp. They live in tents. Canvas tents and teepees. They eat dried fish. They're worse off than we are.
How many of them were there?
I counted 22.
And the boat.
I didn't see it.
Did you see Walt?
No. But I know he's there. They have a hatch.
How do you know that they...
There's a set of metal doors leading underground. What else could it be?
And you think that that's where they're keeping the kids?
They keep it guarded 24/7. At 2 guards, 2 guns, and 2 guns is all I saw. They're barely armed. Most of them are old, and half of them are women. I couldn't save them. So I came back to tell you. Tell you that we can take them. As soon as I get my strength back, I will take us back there. And we are gonna get my boy back.
Welcome, everyone, as we head back to the island once again for another episode of We Have to Go Back, Lost Revisited. I am your host, Ben Beck.
And I am also your host, Kristen Howell. This episode, we continue on, approaching the end of Season 2, covering Episode 20, 2 for the Road. I got 1 for the money, 2 for the road, 3 to get ready, now go, cat, go. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, God, there's going to be like a song reference to every episode going forward. I mean, last week it was SOS. Now it's an Elvis song.
Next week we'll just, It'll just be, it'll just be, there
it'll
you
just
go.
Be a question mark.
Home Improvement.
So just a quick heads up before we jump into anything else. I'm just going to apologize for train derailments, like conversation derailments right off the bat, because it happens every episode. But hey, man, people keep tuning in, so I'm not complaining about it one bit. Not at all.
Well, it's half of us talking and half of it is lost. And that's a good mix, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, this is a spoiler-full podcast. We talk about things that have happened in the past and the future of the series. So apologies ahead of time if you're watching through for the first time and something gets spoiled for you. So
hey, guess what? Their plane crashed and they're on an island.
Wow, that just made you sound so much like a sarcastic ass.
Oh.
But it's fine.
But see, that's not really a spoiler. So
what? That you're a sarcastic ass?
Oh, that's mean.
I'm kidding. You know I'm kidding.
I know.
If anybody's a sarcastic ass between the two of us, it's me.
Well, I'm sarcastic,
and I'm an ass, so it works.
There you go. Perfect. We're gonna rename the podcast.
The sarcastic ass pass. The sarcastic ass cast.
Yes, I was laughing too hard. I wanted to say it.
We're already off the rails.
That's
we haven't
okay.
even started with the episode yet.
It's okay. I don't really want to talk about this episode, so that's fine.
Well, we're gonna have to.
I know. It's a good episode, actually. It's a phenomenal episode. It's just, it sucks.
Yeah. But hey, there is something that comes up in this episode. I didn't even get to talk to you about this when we were prepping, but I just recently made a purchase, and what I purchased, we're going to use it as a giveaway. And we will reveal what it is when we get to that point.
Look, man,
So-
I don't want your Donald Glover Funko Pop, okay?
Hey, look, there's nothing wrong with my Troy and Abed Funko Pops at all. Not at all.
Cool.
Let's talk about the episode.
Cool, man.
But yeah, 2 for the road, episode 20. We've got 4 episodes to go in season 2. And this is a big one because this is pretty much these last 5 episodes of this season, including this one, we're full bore to the end of the season now. And I don't think there's really any slowing down at this point. There's no more like fun, trippy little episodes. Like there's no more playing golf or anything like that. We've got our foot on the gas now to the end of the season, and it starts off with the loss of 2 characters by the end of this episode.
Boo.
Yeah, I know. And 2 characters that, one, in our discussion of this season since we've started, my opinion has really changed because it was a character I wasn't too crazy about, and the more we started analyzing the character and the more we started talking about the character, the more I really started to grow to like the character.
Let's talk about that character. Who is it?
Well, it's Vincent. No, it's not Vincent. It's Ana Lucia.
Oh, yeah.
Ana Lucia, we get the loss of both Ana Lucia and Libby at the end of this episode. Ana Lucia pretty much planned, and Libby collateral damage, unfortunately, to the plan of Michael.
Fucking Michael.
I know. Before we jump in any further into the episode, a point from our corrections department. Last week, I had mentioned how the episode ended with Michael coming out of the jungle in the rain. That I was wrong. There was no rain when Michael came out of the jungle. So I do have to correct myself on that point before anybody says anything about it. Not that anybody would, but just so it's clear, I'm not always correct, and I was wrong in my assumption. There was no rain. So
Okay.
But jumping into the episode, I'll let you kick us off. Where do you want to start when it comes to this episode?
Oh, where do I want to start? Well, I want to start just with a theme that's been popping up the entire season, which I'm wondering now, I'm happy that I have forgotten a lot of the series. I mean, I remember broad strokes and I remember storylines and stuff, but as far as themes go, I'm interested to see if there is some sort of a landing on this entire season-long theme of how manipulating Locke is coming into the story. So when Locke goes in to talk to Ben after Ana Lucia almost gets killed and Locke saves her, and then it's like Locke can't help but go back in there because he needs to talk to Ben. For some reason, Ben's got a hold on him, and we've seen that several times throughout the episode. But what's interesting is that Ben knows exactly how to manipulate him, and I don't know, and maybe you can tell me, I don't know how much of this is manipulation and how much of this is actually fact, especially given knowing like kind of the whole story about Ben and what he's doing and Locke and his story and just kind of the story of the island and how it all kind of sews up big picture wise. But this is just one of those scenarios that we've seen happen over and over again with Locke where, Ben's like, well, you're one of the good ones and you're why I didn't kill you. I didn't kill you or hurt you because, I was coming to get you, Locke. But that woman, she trapped me in my net. And I wanted to come and get you. And here we are. So what are you going to do about it, Locke? And Locke really wants to believe him. He's spent most of his time on this island believing that he's special because he was healed. It's interesting because Rose doesn't feel that way. Rose is just happy she's healed and never wants to leave. Locke believes that he's been healed for a reason and he's been desperately searching for that reason. And it's like, Ben has somehow honed in on that, and he's trying to use it to his advantage by either escaping or getting some more freedom. Whatever it is, it's working because Locke keeps getting drawn to him. Locke keeps going in and talking to him, and it chips away at Locke's psyche little by little, to the point that Locke then lies to Jack about what happened and covers for what happened between Ben and Ana Lucia. And so it isn't until Locke realizes later that Ana Lucia plans to kill Ben with Sawyer's missing gun that he fesses up to Jack what's happening, which isn't going to play well in the long run because Jack doesn't like getting lied to. Now, what else is interesting is that we open up the episode and Jack is like, why did they let him go? Why did they let him go? With regards to Michael. And Kate's like, he just heard our voice. It's fine. Why, you're talking nonsense right now. And so later, Locke asks Jack the same question, and Jack treats him like shit over it. And he's like, what are you talking about? You're so stupid. Of course he just followed our voice. Nobody would let him go, Locke. Oh, you're so dumb. And so it's just so strange how the treatment of Locke always seems to be, I don't know. I hate the way Locke is treated, and I hate the way that his emotions are always played with, either by Ben or by Jack or by the other survivors who want something from Jack and know that they can do it if they create some sort of a fight between Jack and Locke. And there's just been this struggle all season long, and it pops up every single episode in some way. And in this episode, this is the way that it kind of manifested itself. So what do you think about that? Because I've been talking too long.
No, it's perfectly fine. I wanted to let you finish your thought, no matter how long it was going to take. But I've been thinking a lot about this lately too, and more in particular with this episode, because I think to a point, everything that's happening has kind of gotten into my head as well when it comes to analyzing everything, because you could take everything at face value when you're watching this. Like you said, we see Ben attack Ana Lucia and John hit him in the head to stop him. And then we get the whole thing play out with the gun and, everything play out at the end towards the end with the fate of Ana Lucia and Libby. And as I mentioned, you can take that at face value as in like, this is just the way things played out. But if you look at everything that we know about Ben, even just everything we know about Ben so far and not what we know about the future of his character, you could kind of take this, or at least question, was this or was this not his ultimate plan? Knowing that, that Jack and Kate were going to come back with Michael, could this have been Ben's plan all along? He knew that he wasn't going to kill Ana Lucia, but that this was going to drive this wedge even further between them. Or if nothing else, make Locke believe that Locke finally has a one-up on Ben when he never does. And I don't think even through the run of the series, as you mentioned, you're looking forward, I don't really think between now and ultimately the end of John's fate, before we get John Locke 2.0, I don't think there's ever a moment where John gets a leg up on Ben. I think this manipulation of John and Ben always knowing how to work John over, I think this continues to play until the end. Because actually, if you think about it, when you look forward in the series and you look at John 1.0's fate, it's ultimately at Ben's hand. And it's because of Ben that it happens. So I don't think throughout the run of John's story, this ends. Now that we've been getting this, I don't think it ever comes to an end.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah. And it's not until, like I mentioned, John 2.0, which in essence really isn't John, that the tables kind of turn and the power switches to John over Ben. You look at again, this is kind of flashing forward in the series, but you look at the whole thing with the cabin, and again with John's fate when he gets off the island and the interaction with Ben. Ben is always in control of John. It never changes. So, and again, looking at the whole ultimate plan, was this just a way that things played out, or was this really Ben's plan all along for this to happen?
Yeah, I don't know. Those are really good points. I don't know. And you know, what's great is that, you know, we're going to be around to discuss this and analyze it further as the series progresses. So maybe, you know, if we keep our eyes on this dynamic, we will really be able to kind of hash it out and have a definitive answer by the end. That would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You know, if you
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you keep with the manipulation theme, you can actually see a lot of manipulation throughout this entire episode. You know, you have Christian manipulating Ana Lucia to do exactly what he needs her to do while he, you know, does a leaving Las Vegas trip of Australia. You have Michael manipulating the group to very clearly not go after, you know, the dirty others, which we'll talk about that later, because that whole thing stunk from the moment he started talking. And then his manipulation to get the gun from Ana Lucia so that he could release Ben at the end. So it's interesting to me that manipulation, while it's a real common theme this whole season, with Locke, it seems to be kind of a theme of this particular episode as well.
And I wouldn't even just limit it to this episode. I would limit it to this group of characters throughout a majority of this season. I think manipulation plays a hand in a lot of different elements so far this season, not just the way things played out in this episode.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think it's that I've been so focused on seeing the way that Locke is used for the benefit of others in dealing with Jack so often that maybe other aspects of, you know, that theme have maybe fallen away because I'm so focused on making Jack an asshole.
And you know what? And to that point, I noticed too, like even in the beginning of this episode, like even after Michael comes out of the woods, Michael is secondary to Jack for the moment. You know, it's not until Kate says, "What do you think?" They just let him go and they're not going to be there. We know for a fact that's actually what happened. But, you know, the whole situation.
Exactly what happened, Kate.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, we get that moment where even for like that 30 seconds after Michael falls out of the woods, it's like, oh, Michael's back, but they're still here somewhere. And, you know, he's still on that whole obsession theme that we talked about last week for just 30 seconds more, and it takes Kate to kind of like clear his head and be like, yeah, as we mentioned, what do you think? They're just right there and they just let him go. Yes, that's exactly what happened, but you don't know that.
Right. But, you know, I'm sorry. Everything that they've experienced with these guys, I would absolutely keep that in the forefront of my mind. I don't care what Michael says. Michael is a dad trying to get his son back. He is not, there's just no way that there's nothing that I wouldn't say or do to try and get my kids back if the roles were reversed, you know?
Yeah. Well, because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Kate was in the room when Michael woke up, right? I think it was just Jack and Locke when he's telling them about the camp. Or was Kate there? I can't remember.
She was there. She was there when he woke up because she was the one that called Jack over.
That's right. So, yeah, I mean, knowing about the whole fake beard and all that stuff, of all people, wouldn't she be the one to kind of maybe call a flaw in his story?
Right, because she saw the locker.
Yeah.
She saw the locker and the glue and the costumes and everything like that. And it was, I don't know if it's bad writing or if it's just like she's decided to run with this story because he says that he saw tents and teepees and a hatch and 2 guns. I mean, like his story was really, really detailed. So maybe she just decided not to talk about it. But she also told Jack what she saw in that locker as well a couple of episodes ago.
I mean, I could see fully believing Michael in the heat of the moment, like, oh my God, you're back. This is the story. But there's there's plenty of time between walking from the hatch to the beach to get the gun from Sawyer that you could have thought about this plan a little bit, or you could have thought about Michael's story and kind of analyzed it a little bit and said to Jack before they even got to Sawyer, maybe we should think about this. And that never happens.
Well, and how slow did you have to go with Locke on crutches the whole time through the jungle? So clearly,
so you had even more
it
time.
It wasn't a sprint back to the beach. Like you had to
true.
take some care, man.
That's absolutely right. It's even more true. So you had plenty of time to think about this entire situation, but maybe another ongoing theme of this show is gullibility. Because it tends to seem that they fall into that a lot.
It's just they're so intent on getting the guns back all the time. They're like, this is the story that'll finally do it. We're finally going to get those guns back, y'all. Let's go. It's like so weird. They don't care what the story is.
Hitch up the wagon.
Hitch up that wagon, Locke. Throw away them crutches. We're going to get the guns from Sawyer.
Round up the wagons and throw together the hunting party. We're going to get us some bullets.
Some bullets. And before anybody starts saying that we're being insensitive to the South or something, I live in the South. All right. I live in the South with the gun racks and everything else. I'm not really, we're not stretching anything here.
No, we're really not at all. But and we're talking like, this is like Old West mentality. This isn't modern mentality too.
Right.
We're not doing anything offensive. So just like nobody hitches up and rounds up the wagons anymore. Let's be real.
Well, I do. I get that red wagon that my kids have, hitch up the red wagon.
Well, that's when yours is circle the kayaks at this point.
Circle the kayaks. Here we go. We going fishing.
While we're on the note of the elements of the hatch, and we're talking about Ben and Ben clapping back at Ana Lucia and like flat out like pushing her up against the wall. I was going to say nailing her against the wall, but then we're talking about Ana Lucia and Sawyer.
Getting caught in a net, man.
Caught in a net. I have that written down too. Ben tells a story, and we talked a little bit about this last week, and he talks about the man in charge.
Oh, yeah.
I have I had a theory for a while, and I'm wondering what your thoughts on this are, because he mentions that the man in charge is a great man, and I'll be failing him. I know we talked about the possibility that the great man is most likely Jacob, because Jacob is the overarching person. But is there any possibility, because this is how I always took it until we started talking about it last week, that the great man he's talking about is actually himself? Like he's praising himself for being smart, because in many ways,
I thought you were going to say Charles Widmore.
No, I don't even think Charles Whitmore even plays into it. But until Jacob is even mentioned, which I don't think is even until seasons 3 or 4, Ben is really the ipso facto leader of the others.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it makes me wonder whether or not, is he talking about Jacob, or in all actuality, is he talking about himself?
No, I see, I see where that question could come from, because he's such a narcissist. But we learn that he's extremely afraid of his quote unquote boss. And that comes to light slowly. That's one of the best parts about this show is the little breadcrumbs that they leave along the way, so that when the hammer does drop or the truth does drop, you can put all of those breadcrumbs together and you're like, oh, that's what they were getting at. And I think that this is just another one of those breadcrumbs leading us to Jacob. I mean, we have talked about, you had the ultimate breadcrumb the other day with Jack and Hurley and the numbers. I mean, that alone says that they're, even if it wasn't up until a certain point, at least they were able to grab that breadcrumb and keep going,
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Who knows who he was talking about. Maybe it was a combination of both. He does think he's a great man, but he's also kind of afraid of this guy that might kill him.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, then, and it really is Jacob that he's talking about when it comes to his boss, that brings up a whole new element of Ben's character, because we talk about Ben and Jack, or we talk about Jack and Locke, being, oil and water when it comes to man of science, man of faith. But if Jacob is in fact the boss that he is talking about, we have to keep in mind that it's not until Jack finds the cabin later in like season 3 or season 4 that Ben has even met Jacob. He's never met Jacob until John leads him to him. So if that's the case, Ben is an ultimate man of faith, because he's putting his faith in this man who is his boss, who he's never seen or met.
So maybe he's manipulating Locke the whole time, because Locke is supposed to be this great man, and he's always thought he was the great man that was deserving to know Jacob, when really maybe it was Locke that threatened his position, which is why he was always trying to get one up on him.
Well, that's one of the reasons why John's fate ultimately ends up the way it is
right.
Because it's when John finds the cabin and sees Jacob for the first time, or talks to Jacob before Ben ever has, that it really is a wedge driven between Ben and Locke for the first time.
So why, if Ben knows that maybe John is supposed to be this great man for the island, why doesn't he kill him when he's trapped underneath the doors? Is he serving Jacob so fiercely then, but then later he's not as much anymore? Are you following what I'm saying?
I am. And I think that was kind of indicated in this episode when he tells John, you were one of the good ones.
No, I understand that. But okay, so he's following Jacob now, to the point that even though Locke may threaten Ben's ultimate position with Jacob, he's still going to do what Jacob tells him to do, until Locke sees Jacob before Ben sees Jacob. And then he's just like, oh no, that shit won't stand.
Yeah.
Like where is that disconnect, John, I guess is John my question.
John becomes a threat. And I think that's exactly when it happens. You don't
think that he's a threat before that? The guy that was in the wheelchair that could all of a sudden walk?
I think he was, but I think Ben's faith is so blinded at this point for following Jacob, because he's done it for so long, and he's done his bidding for so long that it never really crosses Ben's mind that John is a threat. I think John has always been a threat, but I don't think Ben has ever realized it. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that he's always been able to manipulate John. Mm-hmm. So I think because he's able to manipulate John, he feels John as an inferior person. Mm-hmm. So I think he's always been a threat, but Ben's never thought of him as a threat until, wait a minute, this guy can see Jacob before I can.
Mm-hmm. I can't wait till
that's where it comes into play.
I can't wait until everybody else knows his name on the show. Every time they call him Henry, I'm just like, stop calling him Henry.
I know.
Yeah.
And I don't think that happens until next season.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. Because I think it happens in that book club flashback.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that's the first time we hear Ben's name and we don't know who they're talking about.
Right.
Until we see him.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right. I can't wait till that episode.
I like that episode a lot. I
do too.
I'm so glad that we got to talk that out a little bit. The Ben and Locke and kind of their future and their present and their journey a little bit. Because I do think that we're gearing up for a lot of the more complicated storylines and themes. So it's nice to kind of, get a little preliminary jump start to it all.
Yeah.
What about you? What about one of your points for the episode?
Well, one of the things I really wanted to talk about is I want to dive a little bit into, like, this is obviously an Ana Lucia backstory, but at the same time, it's kind of a Christian Shepherd backstory.
Yes.
A little bit indirectly. Mm-hmm. By the end of this episode, because of these flashbacks, we have in my opinion, we have a clear timeline of Christian Shepherd. Because, and I even had to go back to another episode to witness something or to check on something that I believed, and it turned out I was right. if you go back to season 1, the episode Confidence Man, which was one of Sawyer's flashbacks, when Christian and Sawyer are drinking in the bar.
Right.
We get the moment in this episode with Ana Lucia and Christian outside of the bar, and Christian hits Sawyer with the door. That is indeed the bar where Sawyer and Christian are drinking together.
Right.
Because I went back and checked, and the wardrobe is the same. Christian is wearing the same color shirt. And then it's only like a day later that Ana Lucia is in the airport getting ready to come home, because she's going through this huge redemption arc just purely in these flashbacks. And we get Ana Lucia in the airport, and she's seeing Jack talking about her, putting his father on the plane.
It can't be a day later. It's got to be at least a week later.
I think it's only a matter of a couple of days. I don't think it's any more than that. I really don't. Because
getting
why would
a
Ana
body
Lucia stay
out of the country is a complicated matter. And I understand that this is a television show, but I'm just saying it takes like a day to fly there. So he's got to die. Tell Jack. Jack's got to fly to Australia, get the body secured, and then he has to get back on the plane. So I mean that's got to be at least 4 days.
I would think 3 to 4 days is really, because I don't, and the only reason I say that is because Anna is she's coming to terms with everything and she wants to come home. I can't see her staying around much longer once she makes that realization. So I can't see, within a matter of days of her finding out that she wants to go home, she's going to go home. She's not going to stay behind. So I can't see this playing out any longer than 3 or 4 days.
So I was going to ask you, I'm sure there is, and maybe one of the listeners can guide me in the right direction. Is there an episode with a Claire backstory with her ever meeting her father?
I thought about that too, and I don't know if there is.
Because if there is, then maybe we would have even more of a timeline on this.
Maybe, possibly. But yeah, I don't think there is, to be honest. I think the only connection that we have at this point is we've seen Claire's mother.
Now, do we know, that's another one. Have we seen Claire's mother yet?
I believe so.
Okay,
I believe in one of her first flashbacks, we've seen her mother.
Okay, so this is the episode where we find out that not only does Christian have a daughter, a secret daughter, but that secret daughter is on the island.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, the timeline's now confusing to me.
Right. The timeline is always confusing, man.
Well, because here's the reason, though. Because in the flashback where we meet Claire, we find out, in one of the flashbacks where we've seen Claire, when we meet her mother, we find out that her mother was in the car accident. Her mother's in the coma, and it's Christian taking care of the bill. So how does that play out in the timeline now? Because if it's only a matter of a couple days between Christian being in that bar, a couple days to a week between Christian being in that bar and that death, and him dying and coming home, when does that whole car accident happen?
Well, I really think that we need, to buy a ball of string and
start mapping it.
And start mapping out Christian Shepherd's Australian timeline.
It's because now that I'm thinking about that, now that you bring Claire into the mix, now it becomes a little confusing. Whereas I thought we had it figured out, and I'm wrong.
No, so because I had more questions at the end of this episode, just with just what happens after the bar, because I know that because she didn't call her mom, or Ana Lucia didn't call her mom until she was already at the airport in line to go home. She called her mom after she saw Jack pleading with the flight person. What is it? The customer service agent, I guess, ticketing agent, about getting Christian on the plane. And so she overhears all of that, probably not knowing that that's Christian Shepherd on the plane or in, being argued about. And then she excuses herself to call her mom and tell her mom that she's on her way home, who, by the way, I'm pretty sure was going to show up with cops to arrest her. But that's, different.
Okay, so I looked a little bit into this while you were talking. There is a meeting between Christian and Claire.
That's what I thought. I knew it.
There is. He convinces Claire to meet him for coffee.
Season what episode?
It's not until season 3 that we get that meeting. Season 3, episode 12 is when we get that flashback that we see that Christian and Claire have met.
Okay.
So at this point, we don't know.
Okay.
Lindsay, the one that answers the door when Christian's there, is Carol. Carol is Claire's mother. Lindsay is her sister. So the woman that answers the door is her aunt, not her mother. Because Claire passes away.
Because Claire passes away? No, Carol passes away.
Not Claire, Carol. Carol passes away.
Okay.
Yes. Wow, that would make it a really interesting show if Claire passed away in a car accident.
Wouldn't it, though? I'm glad that we got all that, because these were like the big questions that I had while watching this. Because during the rewatch, we know all this stuff. We know that Jack and Claire are half brother and sister. We know that Christian is in Australia because he's clearly, trying to see Claire. These are all events that are kind of coming together, and every once in a while you get a little bit more information along the way. And so trying to piece it all together, I think that the only way to do that is to actually have these discussions and to just write it all down. Like I was taking notes as you were talking, trying to like kind of hash it all out myself in my brain. So I'm glad that we had this discussion.
Yeah. It gets a little confusing, and we apologize for any confusion, but now I think we've got it kind of in the clear.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing I really wanted to talk about with without going into too much detail, obviously there are a lot of number references in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you caught them all. The most obvious is the police cars.
Yeah, I didn't catch them at all. No.
Really? You didn't notice that at all?
I don't notice police cars in the background. No.
In the opening of the episode of Ana Lucia's flashback, when the cop cars are in the parking lot, there are car numbers on the roofs of the cars. And the car numbers are 4, 8, 15, 16, 23, and 42.
That's awesome.
Yep. It's a nice little reference that's in there.
That's awesome.
So, there's a couple other references to numbers. Some of them are a little bit of a stretch. One of them is, Christian was on a drinking binge for 4 hours. It's 4 a.m. when he finally decides to go see Claire.
3:51.
And the other one, 3:50, so close to 4 a.m. And the other one that is a little bit of a stretch is when Michael comes back and he says he counts 22 of them. If you include Ben in that, it becomes 23. So I don't know if I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
Well, they had been drinking for 4 days in Australia.
That's what it was. Not 4 hours, 4 days.
Yeah. And the combo lock though was nothing.
No, I paid attention to that too, to see if it was anything.
And I even added up all the numbers. It added up to 50.
Oh, so it wasn't anything important.
No.
So, the only other thing I really have about the whole Anna and Christian background story is, did you happen to take notice of the names that they give each other in the airport?
Yeah. Sarah, Jack's wife, and Tom, Jack's wife's new beau.
Well, Tom actually has multiple references. Tom isn't just... Now, is it confirmed that was Jack's wife's new beau?
Yeah.
Okay. Because it's also the father of Claire's son.
Oh, yeah.
And it's also the name of Kate's former love, who she's responsible for his death.
And I think, wasn't it Tom Friendly?
That's right. Yeah. So Tom, there's a number of Tom references in this series that it could relate to any of them.
Yeah, but I remember when Christian said, "I'm going to call you Sarah," and I'm like, that's weird, dude.
Well, because isn't there a theory going around that the mystery man that Jack's wife was messing around with was in fact Christian?
Ew.
Because I think I remember that. I think I remember that being a theory. that she was actually cheating on Jack with his father.
That just makes me want to vomit.
Which, I mean, if that's the case, it brings a kind of a little bit of a new light to why Ana Lucia is going on the trip, because maybe he's just looking for somebody to replace Sarah. And by calling her Sarah without knowing her real name, that's a way he can do it. It's a creepy way to think about it, but there could be some truth to it.
I hope not.
Because we do know, in fact, in that episode, that we do know that Sarah and Christian were talking.
Yeah.
Because Jack confronts her on it. So I think there might be some validity to it. I don't know. It's weird, but it could be valid. Who knows?
Still gross.
I know it is. What about you? What's something else that you have in your notes?
Well, there was a little bit of foreshadowing here. So when Saeed said, "Why don't you take Libby to the beach that I took my dead girlfriend?" Maybe we don't go to that beach. Now all of a sudden that beach has now been, the final romantic picnic place of two dead women. And granted, they never got there, but he was headed there. He was headed there.
I was going to say, in all fairness, they never make it to that beach because Hurley gets them lost.
Yeah, and can we talk about that for a second? We're gonna walk.
Sure.
We're gonna walk through the jungle to go to a secret beach 3 kilometers up because I don't want to just follow the water line for a while and have a romantic walk on the beach. You know what I mean? Like, what was that?
That's a good point. Well, but I mean, when you analyze that situation, it's actually not even analyzing. It's completely clear as day. Hurley really has no game.
None.
He absolutely doesn't. He brought food because that's what Hurley knows.
Yeah.
He doesn't bring blankets. He doesn't bring anything to drink.
And he giggled about the thought of having wine. He giggled about the thought of having wine. He's like a little boy, which I don't understand what is attractive about having to take care of a little boy and have him be your boyfriend.
Well, not only that, but you look at, you look at the one thing that he does know about being romantic, and he got it from a movie. He got it from Say Anything.
Right.
He literally wanted to play music and hold the radio above his head.
But I know. And he's like, even the static would be okay. Because I'd give points for trying.
Don't get me wrong. That's a hugely romantic gesture. It's just been done.
Yeah.
It's been done to death.
Well, and then he copied Saeed's move. He wasn't
taking her to the romantic spot on the beach for a picnic.
Yeah, he wasn't going to do that. There was no way he was going to think of that. I mean, look, I love Hurley. I think he's adorable, but Hurley with a girlfriend, it just proves how woefully unequipped he is for that scenario.
Yeah, he really has no game at all.
You're totally right. That's so funny that you say
that. Love him to death like you say that, but Hurley has no game.
I know.
And it's rather unfortunate now because you think about his character and where his character, I know we're doing a lot of foreshadowing this episode, but you think about how this series ends and where his character ends up. That's pretty much his last chance at love.
Right. Aww.
Which is sad when you think about it.
Well, there were other women. He could have,
but he doesn't.
Gotten friendly with Nikki.
No. God, I would have not liked Hurley if he did that. Not at all. It's bad enough Paolo was with her.
But I think I do think that I know. I do think that was some sort of foreshadowing when Saeed said, "Yeah, why don't you go here? I took Shannon there." I think that kind of foreshadowed that Libby was not long for this world.
Yeah, I agree. You know what else I noticed too, and it was a real quick thought, and we talked about this in discussion a little bit more about the ultimate decisions to kill off Ana Lucia and Libby. And we know from, Michelle Rodriguez that it was ultimately planned for her character to go out. And when it came to Cynthia Watros, her character was written off because of something that had happened in her personal life. And actually, if you think about it, if you look at that episode and the way it's shot and the way it's written, you can kind of tell. Because when it comes to Ana Lucia and she's shot, there's blood, so they used blood pack and everything else. When Libby shot, it's through a blanket. It's almost as if they decided to just throw her in the scene last minute and be like, okay, you're going to die here. Like they don't show her bleeding. There's nothing. It's almost like they skipped on the special effects because it was a last minute decision.
Yeah, but they had a whole funeral for her.
But that could have been written in after you can write that in after the character's already dead.
Yeah, you're right.
But if you're in the middle of filming that episode, when she goes through that and you have to make a last minute decision that this character is getting killed off, I could be completely wrong, but it's just something that I noticed in that the way the scenes were shot, it was almost as if like Libby was added last minute because of the fact that she was shot through blankets.
Yeah, it's possible. And I mean, honestly, anything is possible. That's an interesting thought though. Because Ana Lucia, at first I was like, she was shot in the stomach. How is she already? Oh, it's the middle of the chest. I see. Yep. Instant death.
Yep. Yeah. You're shot in the abdomen. And if you're shot in the right place, you're done. Like there's no.
No, she was shot in the middle of the chest. Like right.
Was
where
it
the
higher
heart
up?
is.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I looked the second time.
Okay. Yeah.
Second time.
Makes sense.
Second watch.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
Well, let's talk about that shooting for a second.
Okay.
So, do you think that Michael knew that he had to release Ben?
I think he was sent in there with that purpose explicitly. I think he was told, if you want Walt, you have to free Ben. Like, we have a man on the inside. If you want your son, you go in and get him out, no matter what it takes. Right. And I think Ana Lucia being the one that died, I think whoever was in that hatch would have been the one that died.
Right.
I don't think.
What if he had? Well, probably not Locke, though.
No, I absolutely believe that whoever was in that hatch at that time would have died. Because I think they told Ben to do whatever it takes. Or they told Michael to do whatever it takes.
I can't believe that with Locke being as important as he is, them being okay, anybody, even Ben being okay with Locke being shot and killed for his escape. At the very least, it would be, let's take him with us. Because I'm pretty sure Locke would be like, yeah, okay.
Well, then that takes me back to my point originally when I said, like, maybe this entirely was all Ben's plan to begin with. Attacking Ana Lucia at the beginning of the episode was a way to make sure she was the one in the hatch.
Oh, maybe. Kind of reopening old wounds.
Yeah.
Seeing if she's really changed. I mean, that's also kind of a test. That's, Ana Lucia passed her island test. She didn't repeat history. She grew from her past mistakes. She became a better person.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
And she still died for it.
Yeah. But I mean, again, like I said, that makes me think that maybe all of this ultimately was like attacking Ana Lucia, knowing he wasn't gonna kill her. This was all something just to drive Ana Lucia to stay behind so that he can make sure ultimately in the end she was the one in the hatch to take the bullet.
Yeah. Yeah, he never looked scared that she was going to follow through and kill him.
Now, I mean, if things didn't... But I mean, again, no, because Michael wasn't in the hatch yet when he attacked Anna. They were bringing Anna in. Or they were bringing Michael in after the attack happened.
Who was it?
Michael wasn't in the hatch yet when Ben attacked Anna.
No, it was right after.
It was right after. So
no, it wasn't right after. It wasn't right after. It wasn't until after they had hogtied him.
Yes. So, but you had to assume that he knew Michael was coming back with them. At least I would think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more I think this was all ultimately part of Ben's plan.
I don't know. I think that he was pretty much out of all planning, unless, I don't know, he knew a way in and out and was able to talk to people. I don't know. Probably not.
I don't know how he would have gotten in and out of that room.
Exactly. So I don't think that he had anything to do with the plan to get him out. I think he was completely in the dark. He had to have been.
I don't know. I guess we're just going to have to pay attention as we go forward and see. Maybe there's clues that he knew and maybe there's clues that he didn't.
Yeah.
So, but we'll find out.
I wish Michael shot himself in the chest.
Headshot. Always the headshot.
Yeah. Whatever. Not the shoulder.
Well, he had to make it look convincing.
Ugh, he should have shot himself in the chest.
Hey, it took out Ana Lucia. So, so I have something that I thought was very interesting when I was watching this episode.
Let's hear it.
So we see the moment of the episode with Anna and Sawyer being caught in a net, and we see that there is a scene with the camera focuses on the gun in the pile of clothes. We fast forward through the episode and we see that Sawyer realizes Ana Lucia took the gun from him and he was conned by Ana Lucia. Did he not realize when he got dressed that the gun was not there?
Probably not. He was just real happy he just got laid.
All right. I mean, that's a simple enough explanation that,
Men are simple, Ben. Men are simple. Ana Lucia knew it.
Yeah, but when I get dressed, I know when my phone's not in my pocket. Like, this is a gun. Like,
I'm just saying.
I don't know. I would think, like, if you're that protective of the guns, you would know it's missing when you're not putting it in your gun belt as you're getting dressed. I don't know. I don't know. That was just...
He is not a bright man. He is the conner. He is not the conned.
Yeah. And we know that he's kind of on his own at this point, too. And
she threatened him before she left.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot going on there. And he had to get his mangoes.
Yep. So
I'm just saying, I understand what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from because I had the same thought, but then I was like, man, he just got laid. He's fine.
It wasn't anything to overanalyze. It was just something that I picked up on when we noticed it. Like, did you not notice the gun wasn't in your pants?
Definitely funny. He's like, Ana Lucia took it. And like, nobody's putting it together. That gives Sawyer my best. She took my gun. We got caught in a net. Wink, wink.
Et tu, Brutus.
Brutus. That was awesome. He's like, whoa, man, you and I are on in the anti-Jack League, okay? It's population 2, Locke and Sawyer.
I have one final note in my list of notes, but I'm going to save it for last because it brings me to the giveaway. Do you have anything else in your notes that you want to get to before we wrap up with that?
Did you notice that Kate's song was playing in the background?
The Patsy
in
Cline?
Australia? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what the significance of that is. Do you have anything for that?
I don't know. The only thing I can think of is maybe they were listening to the same radio station at the same time. Like maybe it's a clue to tune in like what was happening parallel at that point.
Interesting.
Because they were in Australia, so there's always a chance they were listening to the same radio station at that same exact moment. Mm-hmm. I'd have to go back and see if like one's day and one's night. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. But the only thing I can think of is that maybe that's just an indication of if you wanted to put their timelines parallel, you can line them up with that moment.
One day we're going to make this timeline, Ben.
I know.
We are going to make the Australia timeline, and it's going to be awesome. And there's going to be a tab where it says Walking After Midnight, and it's going to be a part of the timeline where we put people. It's going to be exciting. I can't wait for it.
Where everybody was at the moment that song played on Australian radio.
We should have done it when we saw each other a couple weeks ago, but
I know.
we were playing Beat Saber instead.
I know. we had all these plans to record live in person. None of it happened.
Beat Saber.
We were eating cheesesteaks, watching Big Bang Theory, and playing Beat Saber.
That was a good time, man.
I was going to say, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that weekend.
Nope.
because it was
Nope. It was
amazing.
awesome.
It was
Such
great.
a good time. I'm looking over my notes right now to make sure that there was nothing. Oh, we had an actually like good conversation with Jack and Locke, where Jack said, "You were right, Locke. And Locke said, let's work together, Jack." And then they said, let's all go down to the sand and let's go see Sawyer and get some guns all together, united front. Yay, us.
And then it's all taken away when Locke says, Jack, I need to tell you something.
Yeah, so I mean, Jack says the others are liars. Locke agrees. They want to do something about it. Okay, well, Jack, so you say that the others are liars now, but then at the beginning of the episode you said, "Oh, they must have let go of Jack, or they must have let go of Michael." Then you get back and you tell Locke that he's stupid for thinking about that because of course the others wouldn't do that. And now he says, "Wait, Locke, actually you're right about everything because the others are liars. We should work together." Jack has serious problems with what he feels at any given time. Like I officially can't keep it straight.
I'm done. I can't keep it straight.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm flipping this table.
No, but you're right. I mean, it's the first time in a while that for at least a short period of time, we see those two characters see eye to eye about something.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is nice because it's not going to happen again.
No, I don't think it happens again for the rest of the series.
But this is really nice that it happens, and I'm just so proud of both of them, and I feel like we should at least mention it, especially at the end here. So, but why don't you tell me about your final thing that includes the giveaway that I'm going to win?
You can't. You're not eligible.
I will make myself eligible. Don't worry about it.
You're a co-host.
What am I winning?
Well, if I'm glad you brought up the whole let's go to the beach and confront Sawyer about something, because we get reference to something yet again, and that is the manuscript that he is reading. And it is... Oh,
yeah!
It's for the book Bad Twin, which we know was written by one of the... it was originally referenced to as a novel that was being worked on, as a manuscript that was being worked on by one of the passengers who dies. But this is, I think, the last time we get reference to. But Lost and the producers of ABC and their whole merchandising line actually wrote the story and published it as a book. So I literally just ordered one of the last hardcover copies of the book available. So nice. When it comes in, we're going to use it as a giveaway.
I love it.
You and I are going to discuss exactly how we'll give it away. But I think it's cool that we have a little piece of Lost merchandise that's it's difficult to find now at this point. And I'm kind of jealous that we're giving it away instead of keeping it for ourselves. But I think it's kind of cool that we'll use it and we'll find a cool way to give it away to one of our listeners.
I love that. That is amazing.
So, and the fact that I think you can still find like soft cover, like paperback versions of the book, but this was one of the last hardcover copies I could find online. So,
that is amazing. That's a great find.
Yep. And I think it'll be a great find for anybody who's a fan of the show and listens to the podcast as well.
Yeah. So if anybody has any ideas on how we can do a giveaway or some creative things that we can do to drum up some listenership and also have some fun with our listeners that have been so great about already listening, thank you so much. Let us know. Give us a message or, call us on our phones if you have the numbers.
We're not going to give it out, but if you have it already, it's fine.
Yeah. Post it to Facebook, post it to Instagram, post it to Twitter, whatever you want to do.
Well, you know what? While we're on that note, why don't we just tell them other ways that they can contact us so that they can leave us feedback too, since we're going to dive into our feedback.
Let's do that.
As you mentioned, first and foremost, we're on Facebook at facebook.com/Lost Revisited.
We are on Instagram at Lost Revisited Pod.
You can email us at lostrevisitedpod@gmail.com.
And if you'd like to leave a message, you can record yourself and send it to our email address that we have listed before.
Previously
on Lost.
But while we're talking about feedback, I'm actually really excited for feedback this week because not only did we get another voicemail from our buddy Steve, and we got an email from our buddy Des, but our friend Gemma actually left us a voicemail this week.
Yay! Oh, I love her too. Her voice is so awesome. And she's adorable in every way. I love her so much. She was a very faithful listener on House Podcastica,
which we'll get to by the end of this episode. We'll spend a minute on that. Not very much, but I'm
that sounds really like a lot of time.
A minute's too long. But yeah, I'm really excited. She leaves us some great feedback on Facebook, but she actually left us a voicemail this week. So like you, I don't listen to the feedback until we actually listen to it together. So you know what? Why don't we just kick it off with Gemma?
Yeah.
And we'll play that now. So here is our voicemail from our friend Gemma Hall.
Hi, Ben and Kristen. This is Gemma calling from South Wales. I thought I'd call in my feedback about this episode of Lost because it was one of those episodes I think that I screamed out loud watching. Probably one of the first episodes that I did that. I think, before like Walking Dead, I think Lost was like one of these shows that had like these massive moments, and I think this is one of them. And I remember at the time thinking, Michael can't kill Ana Lucia, that's Michelle Rodriguez. And then Libby walking up behind and him shooting her twice then through the blankets. It was just so insane. I think it took me a few watches of that episode, I remember, just to get my mind around it. It was just so shocking. And the fact that he lied to her to get in to see Ben, and then he shoots himself in the shoulder. Bad Michael. Very bad Michael. I think from this point, Michael's journey just goes down, and there's no coming back for Michael until the island is done with him later on the freighter. Before that though, Ana Lucia gets some sexy time with Sawyer, which made me very jealous. But I think in Sawyer's mind, he kind of went ahead with it because, it was Michelle Rodriguez, Ana Lucia jumping on him. He's not going to say no to that. Because of last week as well, with Kate and Jack being caught in the net. So he kind of thought, well, this is my own net, my own way of getting back. But, I don't think Kate ever found out about him and Anna anyway, which is probably a good thing. It was just one of those really good episodes that just, like you said, it just turns everything around and all these happy moments go to shit. And poor Hurley as well. So yeah, that's my feedback, and I look forward to the podcast, and I'll see you soon. Thanks, bye.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about the fact that of how we reacted to that the first time around. And I had the same exact reaction. I was shocked with that 1-2 punch at the end, when both Ana Lucia and Libby both got shot and died. I didn't even believe it until the next week when they were having the funerals. Like, I for sure, I was like, no way, nope, no way are they dead.
I'm pretty sure I was probably the same way too. I don't think I accepted the fact that they were killed off, because it was a really big shock when it happens. It came completely out of nowhere. We didn't expect that to come from Michael. So yeah, I was probably in the same boat when it happened.
Right. Yeah, that was shocking. So I'm with you on that, Gemma. I'm also with you on the fact that I don't think Michael could really ever redeem himself after that. After that, you never trusted the character anymore. You never thought that he was doing anything for the group. He was always looked at a very self-serving and selfish minded character. So yeah, I totally agree. There was no redeeming Michael after that.
And I don't think he ever does get redemption until the end.
Mm-hmm. Like the end. Like end. Like the final moments of his character end.
Yeah, like the last 30 seconds of his character is when he finally finds redemption.
Right. So thanks, yeah. Gemma. I'm so happy to hear your voice. You're so cute and adorable, and I love you.
And I just love that, caught in a net will forever be a euphemism now, both on and off this podcast. Forever a euphemism, and I love it.
Yeah. Were you caught in a net? Maybe.
Do we want to move on to Dez's email, or do we want to do Steve's voicemail?
No, let's do Steve's voicemail.
Okay. As always, we get a voicemail from our buddy Steve Brown. So here is our message from Steve.
Well, guess you decided to start talking, huh? Hey, Ben and Kristen, it's Steve, and just a couple of really quick notes on Two for the Road. Love Anna Lucia, and Christian picking names in the bar, and it's Tom and Sarah. Thought that was interesting. Shouldn't Jack know that Michael is lying because of what Kate found in the medical bunker, or do you think he's so full of himself that he wants to believe that Michael is telling the truth, or that these people are animals or primitive or whatever? And so I thought that was interesting. It was real sweet, really not knowing how to pack a picnic, and I probably would have forgot blankets too, because I don't think I've ever been on a picnic. Anyway,
Oh no.
This is just a small one because I don't have a lot of notes, but I hate when guns are improperly portrayed, and it just bugs me. And I'm not going to get into specifics with the Beretta, but I've used that gun and just bugged me. And but I'm going to wait to watch the next episode until I listen to you guys. Maybe. Talk to you later.
Maybe.
Oh, you're so awesome, Steve. Steve, you've never been on a picnic. You need to remedy that.
Even if you go by yourself.
Go get a sandwich, go sit in a courtyard or a park or something like that, and sit down and have yourself a little picnic. Picnics are great.
You don't even have to sit on a blanket on the grass. Just pack a lunch and go sit on a park bench.
Yeah, they didn't need the blanket for their picnic on the beach. They could have just sat down. They could have both gone over to Rose and Bernard and been like, hey, man, can we have some wine? Yeah, young love. Oh, so sweet. And then, go park it on the beach and eat your Dharma food and drink your Dharma wine.
Drink your Dharma wine. I don't know why, but that sounds so hillbilly. I don't even know why. Go drink your Dharma wine.
But that's true. That's what they have. They have Dharma food and Dharma wine.
Yeah, it's very true. So I think that just leaves us our email from our buddy Des. Do you want to read it, or do you want me to read it?
Sure, I'll read it.
Okay.
Des Combs. Hi, Des. So I guess this is one of those episodes we've been dreading, but also couldn't wait to get to. First off, Christian and Ana Lucia in the bar. It kept bothering me that Christian gave Ana the same name, Sarah, and I couldn't figure out why. Duh, Jack's ex was named Sarah. Issues, Christian? Then I checked the Lost Wiki, and Tom was the name of Sarah's new man. Aha! While on the wiki, I saw that the police cars in the parking lot had all of the numbers. Didn't even notice that at all. Me neither, Des.
Neither did you.
I we're both in good company. When Christian is trying to see Claire, I'm assuming this is the same rainstorm as when Sawyer is killing an innocent man. I can't remember if we saw this storm in anyone else's flashbacks. On the island, Jack, Kate, just leave Michael's ass in the jungle. Yes, I still yell at the TV on occasion. In parentheses, I know Karen never does this. I guess she yells at the TV. I yell at the TV. I yell at the TV all the time.
I do too.
Yeah. Everyone gets played in this episode. Ben plays Anna, and then he plays John. Anna plays Sawyer after a little afternoon sexy time. Michael blindsides Anna. Stupid, stupid people. Sorry if John was not so up his own butt. Sorry if John was not so up his own butt. Anna, wait. Okay, I'm starting this over. Sorry, if John was so not up his own butt, Anna would never have been able to get that gun back to the John Lockhatch, and Michael would have not had the chance to kill both Ana Lucia and Libby. I know Michael was sent there with orders to free Ben, but was he specifically supposed to kill Ana Lucia? I don't remember. Oh well, fucking Michael. Enjoy the rest of your shitty life. I love Des so much. Did anyone catch Michael's little misogynistic reasoning on how they could take the others? Most of them are old and half of them are women. It looked like Libby did actually remember Hurley from the hospital. I forget who said it last week, but I like the idea that the island was helping Libby's mental condition the way it also helped John and Rose. She actually did seem to get more rational as the season progressed. Oh, and Ben, I actually am a Desmond. So if it slips in here or there, no big. I actually got on the habit of calling people brother thanks to this show. All my love, Desmond.
Oh, and Des, don't think we didn't notice that little dig of the whole Anna would have never been able to get the gun back to the John Locke hatch. After we said a couple weeks ago that the hatch does not belong to John. Nice dig.
I said it does. It does belong to John.
Oh, maybe he's saying it to kind of, I don't know.
He says it doesn't belong to John.
Right, so that's right.
No, he's always being a dick. It's fine. I love him. I love him for it. Every moment of it. I like it that I know that he's laughing out loud right now, listening to this. That makes my heart happy.
And not pounding on his steering wheel. That works.
Maybe
out
he's
too.
pounding on it from laughing so hard. He's like, oh, they're so funny. Pound, pound, pound. I don't know.
It's funny too, because when I post the podcast, I usually post around like midnight on Thursday so that it goes up.
Well, that's a sweet spot right there.
Yeah. So that it goes up like early Friday morning so people can listen to it like really early. And I think Des is actually one of those people that listens at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
He works really early or late or overnight or something.
Yeah, he's either getting ready for work or on his way to work or something or other. And it's funny because I can check the numbers and we get a little bit of it. The numbers for the podcast network get a little bit of a boost after I post it. That's how I know people are starting to listen to it. And I always imagine he's one of those numbers that's boosting us at like Thursday morning or like Friday
thanks,
morning.
Des.
Which is great.
You're amazing.
So, but I think that just about between feedback and notes, that just about wraps it for our breakdown of the episode. Next week, we talk about question mark. That's yeah. That's really the only way. That's the title. It's just a question mark. So, which is another Mr. Echo backstory, which we love. We love those backstories. Yes. And we get the introduction to another hatch next week as well.
Yeah, that's right. Ooh, I'm excited.
So, yeah,
I might watch it later tonight.
Early, yeah. I was thinking about doing that too. But on top of that, obviously on top of leaving us feedback, which we encourage you guys to do, please leave us feedback on the iTunes page, on our Facebook page as well. Review the podcast. Let us know what you think of the podcast. And I was going somewhere with this and I completely forgot. Now I don't remember. Oh, well, train derailed unintentionally this time.
That's all right.
Yeah. Oh, I remember where I was going. And we encourage you, obviously, to check out some of the other podcasts that Kristen and I are both a part of, which unfortunately,
this is my only podcast now. Yeah.
We're going to change that.
Podcast. Well, for right now, I need a break. Yeah. It's been a really, really rough couple of years. I've been doing, I was doing the Game of Thrones rewatch. It was on 2 different podcast names, but it was ultimately House Podcastica. And season 8 was really intense. The rewatch was really intense. And I was very, very foolhardy to think that I could do Handmaid's Tale season 3 during the summer with my kids out of school and a very limited schedule. So I had to let it go. But I do have this podcast, and it's, this one is very close to my heart. It's something that Ben and I really love doing, and I wouldn't dream of giving it away ever.
I'm very happy that that's the way you feel, because I'm glad that you didn't give up this podcast. But I mean, I can totally understandably get the whole. It's like podcast burnout. a little bit. You get burned out from doing so many. I've gone through it before as well. It's nothing new, you know, it's nothing new to me either. So, but I'm glad that out of everything, because I feel the same way. If I got burnt out from any podcast, this is the one I would never give up.
Yeah, and you make it very easy, Ben, in the fact that all I have to do is just show up with my notes and then turn off my computer and walk away. You do all the editing and post-production and the publishing, and I really, really appreciate that, because I was just, my kids are 6 and 7, and there are not going to be a lot more summers that they want to spend with me. They're going to start wanting to spend it with their friends, and I would really like to cherish that time right now. And the only way I know how to do that is to let go and simplify my life a little bit and make it more about them over the summer. And this podcast is very easy, and I love hanging out with you. And it's really fun because my kids like coming in to say hi to you before and after the recording. So, it's just easy, and I appreciate the easy, and I appreciate you. So thank you.
Yeah, of course. And I appreciate you being a co-host along with me, because it's great, because this is one of those podcasts that even on episodes where we're talking about some serious matters that happen in an episode, like, some dark things could happen in the episode. Because with Lost, there's a lot of times where there's no levity in an episode. It's all serious stuff that happens, with death and things like that. We always still find a way to laugh when we're recording something. And that's, one of the things I love about podcasting with you.
Yay, me too. Yay.
So now that the Ben and Kristen Sap Hour is over. I think that is going to just about wrap it up. We do encourage you guys again to leave us feedback for next week's episode, as well as further episodes. Let us know, as Kristen said, ideas, if you have any, for ways we can give away this Bad Twin novel. And because I'm really anxious to do it. And I know we're going to work on some stuff in between seasons 2 and 3 of maybe doing like a character spotlight or something like that. We're still going to work that out.
Yay.
But,
yeah, that'll be fun. I like that idea.
But other than that, any final notes before we close it out?
I saw Toy Story 4. I highly recommend it.
I saw Spider-Man Far From Home, and I highly recommend that.
I saw Iron Man 3, and I highly recommend that.
I saw Dark Phoenix, and I highly recommend you stay home.
I still need to see John Wick 3, and I highly recommend somebody come and watch my kids while my husband and I go see it. Oh, and if you could do it for free, that would be even better. Thanks.
This is just going to be a new segment at the end of every episode now. I highly recommend, and then we'll just do 2 or 3 of them, and that's it. That's the end of it. Because I also need to see John Wick 3. I have not yet seen it.
Well, we had a chance, but again, Beat Saber took over.
That's true. That's true. We almost went and saw John Wick 3 when you were here too.
We were real close. We were going to go see like the midnight showing or something like that.
We were looking at movie times.
And then we're like, oh yeah, we're old. Let's stay inside.
And I know between now and the next time we record, I will have knocked a bucket list performance off my list.
I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to hear all about it.
I get to go see Hugh Jackman perform Sunday night, and I'm extremely excited.
You're going to have a great time. It's going to be awesome.
I can't wait.
Take some secret video and send it to me.
Okay, I will do that. This is one of those shows. I was actually talking to somebody. I know we're getting ready to wrap it up, but I was actually talking to a friend of mine about this last night. Like, too many times people go to concerts and just record too much and things like that. And like, this is one of those shows that I know I'll take a couple pictures in the beginning, maybe record a couple minutes in the beginning. But from after that, like, I don't want to watch this show through my phone. I want to actually sit and watch this show and enjoy it. Like, I want to be in the moment.
Yeah, I do that at concerts all the time. I always think to myself, some idiot is doing that. So I'll just look on YouTube for their video.
Yeah. So I'm sure I'll capture something just so I can post something, online to show people I was there, even though everybody who knows me knows that's where I'm going to be at Sunday night.
Dressed up in a top hat and some tail feathers.
Going out like P.T. Barnum.
My son would be so proud.
But with that being said, thank you as always for listening and following along with us every week. But until next time, we'll see you guys further on down that rabbit hole. Take care.
Pew, 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 pew.
We have to go back, Kate. We have to go back!